the last time I talked about the Columbus Crew, I was pretty down on them for transferring Lucas Zelarayan to the Saudi Pro League. However, one of the things I kept mentioning was that one of the only ways to make this a little better is if they had plans to bring in another high caliber player that could at least realistically attempt to replace what Lucas Zelarayan brought to the club. And credit to them, the Crew have done just that. They have brought in Diego Rossi at the close of the transfer window yesterday. Now, the transfer fee is technically undisclosed, but there are rumors that have it around $5.5 to $6 million. Personally, I'm not really all that concerned about it because as a designated player, they could pay him whatever he wants, and if it's too much money, it's just Jimmy Haslam wasting his money, which I don't really care about. He was phenomenal when he last played in MLS, playing for LAFC. His last 2 years in Turkey with Fenerbahce wasn't quite the same. He kind of lost his form a little bit over there in Turkey, or at least he didn't have the same form. Hopefully he can find it again on North American soil in MLS, where he had his statistically best years. That form was being a 2-time MLS All-Star. He also won the MLS Golden Boot, MLS Young Player of the Year, and was named in the MLS Best 11, all in 2020. Now, does this move completely dull the sting of losing Lucas Zelarayan? Not entirely, because I do feel like there is something about Lucas Zelarayan being the most iconic member of the Crew team that he left, and one of the most iconic Crew members of all time. I don't think that's hyperbolic at all to say, but this move definitely does help another potentially elite talent in the lineup. Now, it isn't quite a one-for-one replacement of Lucas Zelarayan. He doesn't quite do everything that Lucas does, but I am excited to see what Nancy can do with him in his system, and I definitely feel a lot more excited about the Crew's ceiling for this year. If you just kind of dealt Lucas Zelarayan and didn't really get anything of similar caliber back, it does kind of hamper what the Crew can do for this season in terms of their highest of highs. But with getting Diego in here, hopefully that can kind of rekindle some expectations, some realistic expectations for what this Crew team can do, which if they end up, they're not in the playoffs yet, but you figure with some of the talent they've brought in, they should definitely at least maintain the spot they're in now, and hopefully have the gumption to go on a pretty big postseason run. Now, something else that keeps me excited about this Crew team was this Club America game. The Crew walloped Club America 4-1 in their League's Cup game. If it was 14-1, I'd be jumping up and down going crazy in this video. Lucas Zelarayan was there in attendance. The crowd gave him a nod before he went to one of the players' boxes, which I thought was kind of nice. And it was nice that Zelarayan at least got to see his team go, have this game against Club America before he left. Wasn't very high stakes as both teams had already moved on to the round of 32, but it was still nice to see Columbus beat a top Mexican club, especially with Club America's pedigree and their prestige. However, Club America was in control early. They got a goal. It would be Cucho Hernandez equalizing it at 1 headed into the first half at the end of it. However, things were looking Club America's way again. They did get a couple goals that were called offsides when Mo Farsi drew a penalty. Now, was that a pretty soft call for penalty? Yeah. Was it? Perhaps not even any contact was made. Farsi just kind of fell down. The goalkeeper just happened to be in close proximity, maybe, but it was a penalty for Columbus all the same. Cucho Hernandez converting the penalty kick to make it 2-1 for the Crew, and Club America really never found footing after that. Julian Gressel got into the game, one of the new Crew acquisitions, and he looked fantastic. He had 2 amazing crosses, one of which found Christian Ramirez for a goal. Steven Moreira with an insurance goal late in stoppage time to make the final score 4-1. The Crew win their League's Cup group as well. They will have a match against Minnesota in the round of 32 tomorrow. It's win or go home after that. So again, the Crew, it's been a strange time for the Crew. Again, the Lucas Zelarayan news definitely stung, but really ever since then, it's been Crew fans really have nothing but reasons to be excited. Again, I understand if you really miss Lucas Zelarayan that much, I do too. It is really going to suck not seeing him on the Crew for probably, for the rest of time probably, but there are still a lot of reasons to be excited for Columbus moving forward, and getting Diego in the lineup is definitely one of them. And we saw what the Crew can do even without Lucas Zelarayan. They can pull out a 4-1 win over a team like Club America. Now again, maybe they weren't playing as hard as they could because it's a League's Cup game and they had already moved on, but still there is some proof in the pudding that this Crew team is well assembled, well put together. even with or without Lucas Zelarayan, it's just having a guy like Diego to come in with that massive hole that Lucas Zelarayan leaves in the lineup to fill. It's nice to have another top, at least potentially another top designated player spot on the team. So thank you very much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, leave a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed it and like to see more like it. I will see you at the next one.